When the Tata Altroz was launched initially, one of the major shortcomings the car had was the lack of an automatic transmission. And surprisingly, Tata Motors took its own sweet time to equip the Altroz with one. But now, finally, the Altroz has been launched with a dual clutch automatic transmission. And interestingly, the Altroz DCA is the cheapest dual clutch equipped car in the country right now. But that is not the only highlight of this car. The automatic transmission itself has a lot of innovation and tech built into it. And beyond that also, we need to find out whether the DCA or the dual clutch automatic transmission does its job good enough to match up the rivals in this segment or not. And that's exactly what we'll find out over the next few minutes. Before we go ahead and discuss the real-world performance of the new automatic transmission, let me tell you a bit about the changes in the rest of the car. Now, as far as the exterior design is concerned, there aren't many changes, but yes, the Altroz gets this new, nice-looking blue shade. There's this blacked-out roof. The laser-cut alloy wheels again look great, and they add a lot to an already good-looking car. So although you do not have any major changes on the exterior, I don't think that's a negative, because the Altroz, since its launch, has been one of the best looking hatchbacks in the country, and it continues to do so. As far as the cabin is concerned, again, just like the exterior, not many changes around. It remains largely the same like the previous Altroz, and you get the same set of features. You now do get the ambient lighting, and again, the cabin already was a spacious and a comfortable one. Nothing changes, so that's a good thing. You have the Harman system here. Now it's a 7-inch touchscreen. The touch response works well. The display, the resolution, again, that is also good. And it comes with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and it comes with many other features, including the IRA connected tech. So you can do a lot of features using your smartphone. You can access these features, you can track your car, you can again get a lot of diagnostic details from the car. So that adds to the safety as well as convenience. One issue I do have with the screen is that when you compare it to its key rivals, it's not that large. Now, 9 or a 10-inch screen is something that has become pretty standard in the segment. So the 7-inch screen, although it does its job well, it does appear to be a little small in terms of size. Now, moving to the instrument cluster, well, it's a combination of analog and digital, and this one does its job really well. It gives you all kind of information you want, lots of that in fact, and in a very clear and easy to decipher manner. So that's a good thing. And like I said, not many changes inside the cabin. It's a spacious cabin. The seats are good. These seats, of course, now get these leathered covers, so it just adds a bit of premium flavor to the cabin. Space at the back continues to be the same, and that means that the Altroz was already a spacious car, and it continues to do so. It has doors that swing open up to 90 degrees, so ingress and egress is again easier than most of its rivals, and all of this combined gives you a car that is good looking on the outside, functional, comfortable, and pretty sorted and good looking as well on the inside. So now with these details out of the way, let's talk about the most important thing, and that's the transmission and the engine. Well, as far as the engine goes, no change. You get this 1.2 liter naturally aspirated 3-cylinder petrol motor, which puts out a decent 86 horsepower. This is the only engine that you can pair with the dual clutch transmission for now, and that's a bit surprising for me, because usually a dual clutch transmission is something we associate with being quick and sporty, and Tata has a turbo petrol Altroz in its range. And while it's fine to pair the automatic transmission with the 1.2 liter naturally aspirated engine, I would have also wanted the company to offer the same transmission with the more punchier turbo petrol engine, that would have made things a bit more interesting. But as of now, it's only this engine, so let's get back to this. Now, as far as the engine goes, again, like I said, no change. It's a fairly decent motor in terms of refinement. It's not one of the quietest or the smoothest motors around. It's a 3-cylinder motor, so even when idling, there is a fair bit of noise, and when you're pushing the car around, again, you can hear some engine noise filtering inside the cabin. But again, it's not loud to the point that it will turn your mood off. So like I said, it's a fairly decent car in terms of refinement. Now let's talk about the gearbox. Now off the line, the gearbox again does its job well. Like I said earlier, a dual clutch transmission is something you would usually associate with being sporty, fast, but that's not how it works in the Altroz. In the Altroz, the DCA, because that's what Tata Motors calls it, it is tuned towards more for refinement and more about giving you a smooth driving experience. So the shifts are quick, but you get off the line, there's a bit of hesitation. Again, like I said, it's a bit. Now once you get going, the shifts happen at a very rapid pace. But when you want to give it beans, when you really want to take off, again, that's when there is a bit of a lag. Press the throttle completely and there's a bit of a hesitation. It appears that the car waits and wants to ask you, do you really want to go fast? And then you suddenly get all of the power. But like I said, once you're shifting, once the gearbox is shifting, the shifts themselves are pretty quick. It's just that when you want to go fast and the gearbox has to downshift quickly, that's where you find that bit of a lag. But overall, in terms of driving in the city or on the traffic or even on the highway, the gearbox does its job very well. It has been paired to the engine well, and it does come with a lot of innovative technologies which should make it work brilliantly in Indian conditions and also give it a longer life. For example, it comes with a wet clutch. It also comes with an active cooling technology. So that is because in our conditions where it's really hot and you've got a lot of dust, and if the transmission starts to heat up, again, oil is circulated to cool down and bring the temperature under control. Coming back to the overall performance, here, this is, I think, where Tata Motors has done a good job. The transmission does its job well. Of course, if you're an enthusiast, this is not the car for you. It's not something that goes really fast, but yes, it gets you from point A to point B in good comfort. And at the same time, one good thing that you get with the Altroz that has always been around is that it's the safest hatchback in the country as far as the global GNCAP crash test rating goes. So of all the Indian cars that have been tested in GNCAP, this one has got the best safety rating, 5 stars in fact. So that again adds more to peace of mind. And now it's time for the final verdict, but for that we need the prices first. And you can see the prices at the bottom of your screen right now. And if you look at the pricing of the entire Altroz DCA range, it has been priced very competitively. For the price, it offers you very good value for money, and you get a car that's good looking, it's convenient, it's spacious, it's safe, and now it's convenient to drive as well. So should you buy it? Who exactly should buy it? Well, if you're in the market looking for a modern, well-equipped and a safe automatic hatchback, well, the Altroz DCA pretty much fulfills all of those key requirements. But if you are in the market looking for an automatic hatchback that is also good, fun to drive and engages you, well, that is something that the Altroz DCA doesn't do it right now. And like I said, I was surprised a bit by this decision of Tata Motors to not launch the DCA with the turbo petrol motor. So that again remains an area where the company can make improvements. So if we do get an Altroz turbo with the DCA transmission, well, that is when the entire Altroz DCA range will cater to not just people who are looking for convenience, but also for some driving fun. So who really should go over and buy the Altroz DCA? Well, if you're in the market looking for a modern, well-equipped, spacious and a safe automatic hatchback, the Altroz DCA pretty much fulfills all your key requirements. However, if you are also looking forward to some driving fun and engagement from the same car, well, that is something that the Altroz DCA doesn't achieve right now. And that is again an area for improvement, because the Altroz does have a turbo petrol model, and if the company can again launch that with the DCA, I think it will also cater to people who are looking for some driving fun and engagement. But for now, Altroz DCA is a car that offers you good value for money, it offers you convenience, and the Altroz had a lot of positives right from the start. All of that is retained. It's just that the main pain point for the Altroz range was not having an automatic option. Now that has been addressed, and it has been addressed in a pretty impressive manner.